لا ان شاء الله ما تحصلش معارك، يعني المعارك معوقة وتؤخر الأعمال القادمة. فأتمنى أن يعني يقرأ الناس تقرأ بهدوء، ولكن أتمنى أن يقرأ النقاد بالضاد وليس بالدال الرواية بهدوء، ويوفروا علينا عنت الجدل والصخب الذي لا طائل تحته. يعني أنا في هذا الواقع لا أتوقع شيئا، ويصعب إن كانت المسألة توقع كان يثير اللاهوت العربي مثلا، كانت تثير ظل الأفعى مثلا، وليست عزازيل. فحتى الذين اختاروا مجالا للصخب اختاروه بشكل غير مناسب، يعني كان اختيارهم خاطئا.
دولة الرئيس يلا.
I think it's a very good opportunity to be here. Beirut, as we all know, it's the most important country for trading, and so I find it a very good chance to my books and my authors to be here in Beirut.
This exhibition is very important. It's a very important annual event where we can display our new releases. It's an opportunity to make our new releases known to everybody, to meet people, to connect, and to establish new relationships, new commercial relationships.
أجر نادرة.
حد بردان عنده هناك في المخبر الرئيسي.
What we wanted to do was to bring Wadi Hanifa back to life. So after decades of neglect, we are now seeing this amazing rebirth and transformation of Wadi Hanifa as a naturalized park system, essentially. We're absolutely delighted that all of the science and the theory and the design and the engineering has come together to create this place, which is truly amazing. I think this is a world project. We're in the middle of one of the most arid parts of the world, and we receive all of this urban wastewater, which is normally just thrown away and poured into the desert to evaporate. Here we have captured it, we have cleaned it up, and we are using it productively to enhance nature and to create open spaces for people. People are flocking to these parks by the thousands. It is incredible when you drive through Al-Eb Park or Hanifa Park on the weekend, and you see them absolutely lined with people, picnicking, kids running around, having a good time. And these parks are part of the signature of Wadi Hanifa.
The whole London art scene is quite forward-thinking and ahead of a lot of other countries, maybe. And it seems to be where a lot of the new stuff happens, I think. So maybe they aspire to getting involved or doing similar work. It's funny seeing how the Russians view London and view England. To us, it's slightly cliched. It's like cups of tea and bulldogs. It's good. I like it. It's really funny. Jamie is originally, he's been doing graffiti, the middle guy. He's probably what you would term a graffiti artist, and he's been doing it for a long time. And now he's moved away from traditional graffiti to more illustration. It's more mural and art.
I've always been into art. I've always liked making things. I used to go out and paint graffiti a lot. You know, I still do occasionally.
Get in trouble for it?
A little bits and bobs. I was quite lucky. And yeah, then it kind of gave me the confidence to work on a large scale. Pigeons are everywhere and people don't really like them, and but people kind of ignore them, and I just thought, let's make it fun, let's make it a funky pigeon. And inside it is lots of different patterns and lots of different colours, and that's kind of representing kind of all the different kind of types of people and cultures and things going on in London.
There's a big push for stencil art, and you see it a lot in Moscow, the little stencils. There's over 100 stencils he's used to create this piece. It's layer upon layer. And Charlie is much more loose and freestyle, and quite less direct. It's more subtle and interesting. And that's the Bank of England and traditional London costumes, which have been around for years. So it's three very different ways of working, which I think is why they work together as a whole. It represents London styles.
I've seen some interesting work when I've been walking around Moscow, so there's some talented people here. People seem positive and they seem excited, which is good qualities.
the reason that they make these is kind of interesting. It's a way of representing or celebrating someone's ambitions in life, and basically, yeah, I mean, it's an upbeat take on death by celebrating life, and so you will sculpt something that sort of takes someone's passions into account. For example, you know, if someone's an onion farmer, they might be sent off in an onion. If they're a businessman, they might use a mobile phone or a Mercedes-Benz. And yeah, and then they're beautifully constructed, carved, painted, finished with just amazing detail. And then yeah, you get basically sent through the street. There's a big ceremony. It's quite an ostentatious affair, and then they take you eventually to the burial ground in this amazing coffin, and they stick you in the ground, and then you have a big party. So yeah. There was a carpenter named Carney Quay, who is generally kind of credited with beginning this tradition of coffin making in the 20th century. His grandmother died. She'd always wanted to go in an aeroplane. She never got to, and so he sculpted her an aeroplane much like this, and they used it as a coffin. Teshi, where these guys come from, is actually a fishing town, so something particularly relevant to that area would be the fish, which you can see. Okay, speak soon. Okay, bye. Relevant to the area where these artists are from is the fishing industry. The southeastern coast, just outside the capital, is full of fisheries, and this particular fish is a tilapia, a local river fish.
This kind of work that he does. It's like that, but obviously, you know, like the traditions of Africa are quite a bit different, but they've influenced Latin America and North America.
And so, I'd say a large portion of people be interested in getting one of these, a cocoa pod coffin, to represent their achievements in life. You can see the interiors are pretty wild. They generally have a pink or an orange satin lining. See here, he's in his early 60s. He's got the Gar people dress happening. So I spent most of my time with him when we went over. That's Pajo in his studio, working on several new pieces. You can see a cannon in the foreground.
Pollard's hell, because, you know, like there's a lot of nutters, and there's and to a lot worse degree on some of the estates as well.
You need a sense
but
of
you know,
training
if
with these guys.
people get buried in objects of delight, shows me a more colourful side, celebratory side of the funerary tradition. And as I mentioned earlier, the Irish people, they have what they call a wake. So when they've buried someone, they go back to the house and they party. And this is like a tradition which recognises that the spirit might still be around. And therefore, you know, they're singing, you know, the praises. And this is the same. Ghanaians are very proud people with some strong traditions.